Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Samuel Nete. We talk about coding tips and tricks, software architecture, and bring your software development career to the next level. So, like I was saying, it really takes time to be able to master a programming language. And my advice to new programmers is to really spend time with one programming language to really learn the concepts of programming. Because when it comes to programming, the concepts apply to every other thing, right? The way you write for loops, the way you write whiles, conditional statements, declaring variables, and all those things are fundamental to every programming language. They may have a different syntax, but it's the same thing they want to achieve at the end of the day, right? The only difference because somebody builds another programming language is because of the internals. It's because of the way they allocate memory at a very low level, and they want to make it a little bit more performant than the other one. So they were doing a special case, and then they realized, I can't do it with this programming language, so let me go build my own programming language. That's the way most programming languages come about. Like somebody doesn't like an aspect of A, so he builds an aspect of B, right? But at the end of the day, they are trying to solve the same problem. So you as a beginner should actually strive at learning one programming language and learn it very well and get the concepts in very, very well. It's very, very important to understand the concepts of programming, the basics of programming, really understand how you want to solve problems, use that particular programming languages you've chosen or programming language you've chosen to really master the art of programming. If you go down the route of Python, then use Python to learn the basic program, solve problems, be very, very comfortable with Python. And if it's JavaScript, be very comfortable with JavaScript. Now, how do you choose a programming language? Now, that's a different topic altogether. I may come to that in another video as to how to choose the best programming language. But for now, my advice is not to be learning multiple programming languages at the start of the career. I would say, I'll be bold enough to say, don't do that for the first 2 years of your career. This is from learning everything, right? Take one and master it well. Master it very well. Make sure you know how it works. Make sure it should be a go-to programming language, right? Use it as basics to learn other languages, And the thing is, when you learn one language very well and you are faced with a problem later on in your career, right, you would be able to solve the problem on a pseudo level, right? You can translate it in your program, the programming language, or the other language. And now with the dawn of AI, you can write a programming language, put it in ChatGPT, let it translate into the other language, and maybe try to make it work for that environment. It's not your main language, but you've been faced with the challenge of making it work in the other language, right? For example, maybe at work you are writing JavaScript and somebody comes along and says, I want you to solve this problem for me. You can do it very quickly in JavaScript, but then they won't have it in Python. Just put it in some ChatGPT tool, some AI tool, it translates it into the other language. And then using your already acquired programming knowledge, you are just going to tweak the other programming language to make it work. That's all. It's going to take maybe a day or two to get your head around how it really works. But then you have it working. It's not your main programming language, but you do understand how programming works. And that is the main key I'm trying to drive home. What I find very, very disturbing with very young programmers is when they are trying to learn 4 or 5 languages at the same time, it's like they can do everything, they're the master of none, right? Focus is the main point here. Focus on one language, try to learn it very, very well, and believe you me, you are going to be a very good programmer in the future. Knowledge transfer in programming is very basic, right? Any other thing people are doing in C++, we also do it in C# or do it in Java. It does not really matter. What matters is you do understand how programming languages work. You do understand the fundamentals of programming. You get the concepts, focus on one language, master it very well. And then from there on, you can then transfer your knowledge to other programming languages. The transition to other programming languages is going to be very, very easy. At that point in time, you know the basics. So you will not be in a better position to find a programming language which suits your style, which suits your way of thinking, your way of wanting to write code. Anything before then is just guesswork, yeah? So that's what I have for you today. If you're happy with this content, just give me a like, a thumbs up, write in the comment section, tell me what you want to know about next. But look out for my other video about choosing your programming languages. I think it's a very, very important thing to do at the start of your career, and how to choose a programming language of choice. Bye.